Oklahoma loses a young police officer. A massive recall shakes an Oklahoma company, and OU students set 2 world records before sunrise. This is OU Nightly. Years since graduating the police academy, a 22-year-old police officer died this morning after a traffic stop shootout last night in central Oklahoma.
Officer Justin Turney pulled over a vehicle at about 11:30 yesterday, and while checking to see if the passenger in the car had any outstanding warrants, a man in the passenger seat fled the scene on foot, running through the woods, eventually opening fire and wounding Turney. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation will assist with finding more information on the case.
An Oklahoma food company is recalling almost 1 million pounds of breaded chicken products. OK Foods Incorporated received 5 consumer complaints stating metal objects were found in their ready-to-eat chicken products. An internal investigation found the objects in the products came from metal conveyor belts. And the products subject to recall have establishment number P7092 inside the USDA mark of inspection. There have been no confirmed report of adverse reactions after consumption, but consumers are still urged not to consume the recalled products.
And the Department of Human Services could see a potential $34 million added to fund programs for the elderly and developmentally disabled. Despite recent budget shortcomings, Oklahoma legislators scheduled a bill hearing Monday that would tap into Oklahoma's unclaimed property and rainy day funds. The DHS's director warned lawmakers that without the funding, the DHS would be forced to furlough workers or cut provider rates.
And this is the sound of golf and tennis ball-sized hail pitching down yesterday afternoon on folks in Davis. After creating this hailstorm at the base of the Arbuckle Mountains, the storm moved on to the northeast and hit the Ada area with a tornado. Sure signs that spring storm season is here.
No kidding. Last night, thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. Today opened up really cloudy, and now it's sunny. Grant, what is going on?
Well, that's just spring in Oklahoma for you. Yeah, today started out pretty gloomy, that's right. But now it turned into a pretty good day. Warmed up into the mid to upper 60s here in central Oklahoma. 68 is what we're at in Norman right now. 70s along the Red River down in southern Oklahoma. And now the winds aren't too bad out there either. North-northwest at 6 miles per hour right now. Those will be on the increase tomorrow and become southerly for your day tomorrow. Now, we have a chance for storms tomorrow. That could bring with it a chance for some severe weather. More chances for severe weather on Wednesday, and then cooler temps in the forecast as well. I'll have more on that in Maine weather. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Grant. Now that severe storm season is here, it's important to know where you can go to stay safe. OU Nightly's Reagan Ledbetter is live on the OU campus to show us one of the safe places you might not know about.
That's right, guys. Thousands of people pass by these engineering buildings every day, but when the severe weather arrives, it's what's underneath them that matters. Every day, hundreds of students walk all over the grounds of the engineering buildings. Little do many of them know what lies right beneath their feet: hidden tunnels.
The tunnels have been around for as long as I've been here, and probably as long as these buildings have been here, so there's no telling how long they've been around. But they connect 3 of the 4 buildings in what we call the engineering quad.
While these tunnels are used for easy transportation between the engineering quad, their biggest use is a safe spot for Oklahoma's quickly approaching tornado season. I asked senior mechanical engineering student Jackie Bradshaw to take me on a tour.
And now here are the tunnels. They're not as creepy as people tend to think that they might be, at least in this part. All of the buildings have basements within them, even Felger. Even though Felger isn't connected to this, it still has a basement underneath. This is an approved storm shelter if there are tornadoes. Here, a lot of people from all over Norman really end up here. Here's the creepy part of the tunnels. One thing to note is that all of these tunnels have cameras in them. We were told during this interview that there was a person who tried to steal a couch and use the tunnels to take it, but they realized that there were cameras watching them the entire time and immediately stopped. Here, it's entirely concrete, very safe, and there's even plug-ins in these creepy tunnels, so if during a tornado situation, you can charge your phone.
The tunnels are built with full Wi-Fi, allowing students to still access the internet while they are underground. There are study areas throughout the tunnels that give students a safe place to work even during a storm.
Engineers are typically known for studying, staying up late on campus, so even at all times it's open for us to go down there and have shelter from those storms.
When it's tornado time here in Norman, anyone is welcome, not just students, even cats and dogs. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Reagan. Abby Green is standing by with the latest on the aftermath of the Trump administration's failed health care plan. Abby?
President Donald Trump is accusing his own party for the failure to pass his health care bill. Trump also blames the defeat on Democrats, but he saved his most acidic words for the Freedom Caucus, the most conservative wing of the Republican Party. He said Democrats are smiling because the Republicans saved Planned Parenthood and Obamacare. Police have detained hundreds of protesters across Russia, including opposition leader Alexei Navalny, following protests over the resignation of the Russian prime minister. A government spokesman claimed the allegations were propagandistic attacks and they amounted to pre-election posturing. The protests were said to be the biggest since the anti-Kremlin demonstrations several years ago. United Airlines banned 3 girls from flying because they were wearing leggings. The girls were using employee passes to fly, and their clothing did not conform with United rules for the so-called pass riders. Flyers who heard about the girls responded with anger, many accusing the United of separating dress codes for men and women. Delta Airlines quickly advertised that leggings are no problems on its flights. And Joe and Anna Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, volunteered to testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee about the Trump's campaign ties to Russia.
Great, thank you, Abby. Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, the Campus Activity Council searches for its next chairperson.
Plus, human storms on Owen Field.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Well, most college students aren't looking to wake up earlier than they absolutely have to on a Monday morning. But as Nate Fain and Macy B. Healer report, when the Today Show comes to town, that's a different story.
Around 5 a.m. this morning, students filled the bleachers of Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, eagerly awaiting America's most famous weatherman, Al Roker, who schoonered into Norman to kick off the Today Show's 3rd annual Roker-thon.
I think the enthusiasm and the passion for the school and the school spirit is pretty amazing.
OU is the first of 5 stops for Roker, who got the idea to highlight college campuses from watching some basketball.
This year, what could we do? And it's March Madness, so we thought, let's glom onto that.
The hundreds of students who showed up here today weren't just here to see Al Roker, they were here to set a Guinness World Record. And when the time came, a storm rolled through. But instead of forming in the sky, this system came together on Owen Field as students from OU set world records for the largest human lightning bolt and cloud.
I think it's great that I just got to be a part of a world record for the largest human weather symbols.
Regardless of what world record they try to break, Roker-thon's next stop has a tough act to follow. With Macy B. Healer, I'm Nate Fain, OU Nightly.
And the world record-setting human cloud formation and lightning bolt consisted of 490 students and 280 OU students, respectively.
And someone missing from today's action was President Boren. We checked in with the Office of the President. Press Secretary Mac Epting said via email that President Boren has been sent home, is doing well, and is currently recovering.
Candidates fighting for OU's Campus Activities Council chair will debate their plans and ideas for the organization tonight. Entrepreneurship and Marketing Junior Alec Armour, Geology Junior Will Sheldon, and Biology Junior Jonah Vanderslice are presenting their platforms tonight at 7 at the Oklahoma Memorial Union. The event is co-hosted by the Student Government Association Election Board and the OU Daily.
And we are starting a new segment where we bring in OU Daily reporters to discuss the most pressing campus topics. Today we have the Daily's editor Dana Branham in studio to discuss her recent article on mental health. Dana, you have been covering the recent story about Vincent Valentine. He ran into the Phi Gamma Delta fence. He had alleged mental problems. We saw his mom's Facebook post. Can you tell me what the motivation was to write your recent article, which was published on the recent OU Daily article or paper.
Yeah, definitely. Something that we wanted to do with that article was kind of give students who are maybe wondering, well, what would I do in a situation if I saw somebody in crisis? Just be able to connect them to resources and be able to kind of give them tools to help other people. So that was the main motivation behind the story, is just to remind students that there are campus resources available if they see someone struggling, that they know to reach out.
Okay, so Vincent exhibited a lot of alarming signs through his various social media accounts. It wasn't just him, we could see the actions, it was through his SoundCloud, it was through his Twitter, and it's kind of hard to get concrete evidence to catch a case like this, but you were talking about in this article about the behavior intervention team, and how do they deal with that whenever there isn't that concrete evidence and when it goes beyond the web?
Right, so what the BIT team does pretty much is you can make a report to them, and really what they're there to do is check in and make sure that somebody's okay. So if you make a BIT report, sometimes what they might do to follow up with someone is to call their close friends and say, hey, can you check on this person? Can you make sure they know that they have, that there are crisis resources available on campus? And then also just make sure that that person, if they feel comfortable reaching out to that person and think it'll be effective, they'll reach out to them as well and just let them know that somebody's looking out for them.
And this is completely anonymous, right?
It can be anonymous, yeah. So you can make a BIT report and not have your name attached to it. You can make a report and have your name if you want to, but if you ask to be anonymous, they'll honor that.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dana. And still ahead on OU Nightly, there are soon to be some angry Oakland Raider fans.
And Grant, weatherman Al Roker is gone, but we think you're even better. What do you got for us?
I try. Storms are in the forecast once again tomorrow night and Wednesday. I'll show you when to expect the chance for severe weather coming up next. OU Nightly, I'm Grant Tosterud. Well, here's a picture that, I actually took out on this storm chase last night down near Ada. There's the tornado on the southeast side. Pictures of hail brought in by some of our own weather team here at OU Nightly. Softball or tennis ball to golf ball sized hail reports, even size of grapefruit sized hail down in Denton, Texas. Now let's take a look outside here. Much different story. The clouds have cleared from earlier this morning. The sun is out, the wind is light. It really turned out into a beautiful day out there today. Now, looking at temperatures, warmed up to the upper 60s today. Light winds, like I said, dew point in the upper 40s. And elsewhere across the state, 70s along southern Oklahoma, along the Red River. Cooler up in northeastern Oklahoma, where cloud cover is helping those temperatures stay lower than the rest of the state. Now, these dew point temperatures is what we want to watch for the next couple days. That's going to help fuel storms that come into the forecast Tuesday night. In the upper 40s right now in southern Oklahoma, and we'll expect to see this moisture return as the winds switched out of the south here in central Oklahoma through the overnight. Now, we're watching these storm chances for Tuesday afternoon and evening. Best chance out in western Oklahoma, out into the Panhandle. Through the overnight, we'll see this chance move eastward. And because of that risk for severe storms, the SPC has issued an enhanced outlook for parts of southeastern Oklahoma that does include Ardmore, Lawton, Norman. We are in the slight risk, but that enhanced risk does include a chance for gusty winds, flooding rain, and even hail. But just a small tornado risk included with that. And then the chance for rain moves further east into eastern Oklahoma through Wednesday during the day. 60% chance here in Norman for Wednesday, and that will move its way. The chance increases the further east in Oklahoma you get. And the SPC has also issued another risk, best chance out in eastern Oklahoma. Now, I'm guessing the best chance we'll see for severe weather will be around 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. Lows tonight, fairly mild, around average for this time of year, 50s in southern Oklahoma. As you head out the door tomorrow morning in the upper 40s, so grab the jacket, but fairly nice day through the day tomorrow. Chance for a stray shower or thunderstorm by 5 p.m. The chance for severe weather increases into the evening. 70s across most of Oklahoma tomorrow, 71 here in Norman. Chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Also hanging with us on Wednesday, then overcast on Thursday. The sun comes out. It's going to be a beautiful Friday in store, guys. Plenty of sun, warm temperatures, and then a cooler and another wet weekend ahead for us.
Great, that spring weather rolling in.
That's right, par for the course this time of year.
Great, thank you, Grant. Well, Stephen Mudd is standing by with more on OU's baseball's stellar weekend.
That's right, guys. OU baseball had a great weekend in Waco, Texas, and the Oklahoma City Thunder were in a shootout with the Houston Rockets last night. Sports is around the corner. United Nightly Sports, I'm Stephen Mudd. The Oakland Raiders are no more. Today, NFL owners approved the move from Oakland to Las Vegas, 31 votes to 1. The Miami Dolphins were the odd man out, voting not to move the Raiders. While the people of Oakland are upset, the people of Las Vegas are ecstatic.
We're particularly disappointed for the fans of the Oakland Raiders in Oakland. That this is something that I know will be seen with a great deal of disappointment by them, and we understand that. And we worked as tirelessly and as hard as we could to try to find that solution.
Well, moving to the University of Oklahoma, yesterday the Oklahoma baseball team closed out their 3-game series against the Baylor Bears. Kyle Mendenhall hit a 3-run bomb in the top of the second that would ultimately win the game for the Sooners with a score of 3-0, as the Sooners also won the series 2-1. The OU softball team was also in action this weekend as they demolished the UAB Blazers yesterday with a score of 15-0. The Sooners got hot early, scoring 9 runs in the second inning. Junior Kelsey Arnold and sophomore Sydney Romero both went 2 for 3, while Arnold added her first home run since freshman year. The Sooners will travel to the Lone Star State to take on the Mean Green of North Texas at 6 p.m. Speaking of the number 6, the OU women's gymnastics team had 6 members combined for 14 All-America honors. Freshman standout Maggie Nichols, or better known as Swaggy Maggie, received first All-America honors on every event, including the all-around position. Now, spring football has started, but the Sooners are still focused on future recruiting classes. 4-star running back TJ Pledger and 3-star defensive end Jordan Kelly verbally committed to the University of Oklahoma and will be headliner names in the 2018 recruiting class. For more on the football team and how spring ball is going, be sure to watch Sooner Sports Pad tonight. Blakely Durham is hanging out in Studio D with more. Blakely?
Thanks, Stephen. And yes, we're here to talk some Sooner spring football. Former Norman North High star Nick Basquin and tight end Mark Andrews stopped by the studio. We have a report from OU's recent pro day workout where some former Sooner stars impress NFL scouts. And our viral videos are fabulous and hilarious tonight. You do not want to miss them. Join us live on Fox College Sports Central or after the Thunder game on Fox Sports Oklahoma. And as we tell you every week, Stephen, if you're too lazy to change the channel, then just wait and see Sports Pad right here on OU TV after our 4:30 newscast tomorrow. Back to you.
Thank you, Blakely. Speaking of the Thunder, they were in a shootout last night as they tipped off against the Houston Rockets in H-Town. The Rockets jumped out to an early 20-point first-half lead, scoring 79 points in the first half. After halftime, it wasn't much different as the Rockets shot 63% from the field and an impressive 51% from behind the arc. Despite Westbrook recording another triple-double, the Thunder fall to the Rockets 137-125. But where there is MVP talk, there is March Madness. And boy, was it madness in the Elite Eight. The first game yesterday featured 2 SEC teams, the 7th seed South Carolina Gamecocks and the 4th seed Florida Gators. Sindarius Thornwell had a game-high 26 points as the Gamecocks advanced 77-70. As for the second game, it was madness. Kentucky's Malik Monk catches the pass, shot, buckets, but not so fast, says Luke May, as he catches the pass at the elbow, shot, buckets, back at you, says UNC, as they advance to the Final Four, 75-73. And with madness, there also comes funniness. An Atlanta Hawks fan had the opportunity to bounce off a trampoline and throw down a slam during an Atlanta Hawks game. But the slam wasn't all he had. The fan also decided to bust out some dance moves, truly putting on a show.
Wow.
You know, guys, I actually...
Oh,
Story time with Smud. We got a little time to kill, so I actually busted out some dance moves one time.
As good as him?
Yes, because I attempted a backflip, but also no, because while I did that backflip, I broke my nose and had to go get it. Like, the doctor was like, and so my dance moves were as good if I would have landed it.
Just more dangerous.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Thanks, Stephen. Well, still to come on OU Nightly, the best moments from Rokerthon.
Mike.
Veterans about the Oklahoma Veterans Pilot Program. The system, she hopes to deliver accessible and quality health care to veterans statewide. And the governor has announced for a date for a special election to fill 2 Senate vacancies. Ralph Shorty resigned last week in a sex scandal, and Senator Scott Martin is leaving his Norman seat for another job. Voters will select replacements on July 11th. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Nicole. And Grant, can we take a look at the weather one last time?
Yeah, tonight looking cool and clear. Staying clear through the overnight. Winds will switch tomorrow, bringing in some warmer air tomorrow. Overall, getting to 54 tonight.
Great, thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma. We leave you now with the best moments from Rokerthon.